Greetings, my name is Jeffrey Scott, and this is a launch video for my new TradingView indicators and TradeStation app scanner packages. I am very happy to bring this to the market. I've been showing it at some of the live meetings and seminars that I've attended or presented at over the last year, and it's now ready for wider distribution. I'll tell you a little bit about me first. I am a physician. I'm a cancer specialist, although I quit practicing 20 plus years ago and I went into the healthcare technology business side where I've been fortunate to have had a number of startup businesses that I've been able to exit. And that's me in the lower left hand corner presenting at a healthcare conference back in October of last year. The bobblehead doll, that's me probably 25 years ago when I exited my first business 20 years ago. Um, a lot of times the bankers will do special things for you when you exit a business, and that was what they did for me. I got a plaque and a bunch of bobblehead dolls, which my granddaughters managed to break all except for the last one. Um, so I am a doc. I have a large healthcare business. I'm one of the leaders. We have over 3,000 employees, and thus my style of trading is probably very different than most, or most educators and people that are on YouTube. I am not a fast trader. I am not a day trader. I am not a in the markets all the time trader. I've developed a style of trading and tools to support it that allow me to find some great stocks and hold them during a long period of their move. My approach is dedicated so that I can find stocks at night. I set conditional orders, both buys and stops, based upon the chart. I sit them with my broker using their technology, and I have a very rigid money management approach and stop management. So I've over the years I've noticed a certain pattern has occurred over and over again in the stocks that I trade, and I've developed tools to help me find those stocks at the right time to make my life easy. When I do live education, of which I do at least two a year, I just did one in Orange County. I'll probably do one here in Palm Beach in December. I spend a lot of time more than just how you use a scanner, but how do you actually manage those trades. And as much as I love indicators and scanners, it is important to remember it's what you do with the stock once you make the pick, not just the name of the stock you pick. So let me show you my tools and tell you a little bit about my style and then show you the offer that I have for you at launch. My email, as you can see, I freely give is hgsidoc@gmail.com, and it's pretty simple to get a hold of me. You email me, and I usually respond same day. So first, trading involves risk, and you alone are responsible for anything that you do with anybody's tools. Tools that are offered are for final purchase only and are enabled for lifetime use. That means it's a one-time purchase, and as we make upgrades, updates to them, you will get them automatically pushed to you. Trading has many variables. There's no implied or suggested performance guarantees with the use of these or any other system. Trading involves risk. Before trading, you should consult your investment advisors. There is a learning curve to all tools. You should practice with paper accounts or only money you're willing to lose until you're consistently making money. Market environments can be challenging. No tools will always work in all markets. And past performance does not always predict future performance. So my style is important because my tools reflect my style. I have been trading since the early 90s. I started trading very naive, sitting in the doctor's lounge over lunch and getting tips from other people who turned out knew even less than I did because they heard from their brother-in-law or their broker. I proceeded to blow up several accounts in the early 1990s. One, I was stupid in how I approached the markets. Tips is not a success story. And the other thing was my accounts were probably too small and my position size was not appropriate. I then decided to get educated. And through many folks that whether it's the Cancelim approach as taught by William O'Neill, who recently passed away, what I learned from Ian Woodward, John Person, Alexander Elder, and others, I've been able to mold into the approach that I take. I'm a top-down trader, so I'm always paying attention to the market, and I find tools that allow me to sort through the various industry and sectors to find the best of those at a given time. I use only daily and weekly charts, so you won't find me looking at intraday unless I'm in a period of my life where I'm not able to work because of a non-compete, and then I might trade futures as well. And I've done that. Indicators and scans are not a trading system. They are tools that help me find setups, and that I'll trade equities and equity options on the stocks that I find. And my A trade, a terminology that I learned from Dr. Elder, my personal A trade is I want to find stocks in a longer term uptrend that pull back to support, and then I want to buy them on momentum off support. Now, the most important part of my trading is how I use rules-based position size and stop management, and I'm a big fan of seasonality. My scanners and my indicators will help you find the first three lines, but you have to know how to trade, how to manage your trades. And I remember reading from Van Tharp, who we lost in the past year, how he would talk about he could buy any stock in the market, and over the course of many trades, he would make money regardless of the name of the stock because of his strict, followed money management. I also believe in see one, do one, teach one, which is sort of the mantra of a medical education. You watch somebody do it, then you do it yourself, and then eventually you teach others to do it. And I've been doing weekend and weekly videos, mini mentoring, and live meetings for over 2 decades. I remember doing my weekend videos during the 2007-8 crisis and talking about the bottom of the market on March 9th, or not necessarily the bottom, but the strong buy signals that turned out to be very successful. I wasn't the only person that saw them, so I'm not taking credit for that, but saying my tools as well gave me signals of what to do in the market. Now, I mentioned some online activities. Since many of you don't know me, you might find educationally to go to my YouTube site and just look for Jeffrey Scott Stocks or Cancer Doc or at JS Cancer Doc, which is my YouTube handle. And you'll find hundreds of videos that I've done over decades. And these videos really go through my process and how I find what I hope to be market leading stocks. I don't go much into the management of the stocks that I find on the videos, but I also have some educational videos that I will share with purchasers of my tools that show you how I look at things like money management. And as part of everything that I sell, there's education, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. This is my YouTube site, and then this is my stocksanddocs.com site where I post most mornings before the market opens. Sometimes I do the videos the night before, especially if my workday is going to be busy. And it just gives you a sense of what I'm thinking. These videos are both heavily done with WealthCharts, which to me is one of the best, if not the best platforms on the market today, and one that I highly recommend. Why? It's more stable than a broker program. It has data for US and some international markets. It has futures, it has crypto, all built in without additional data feeds. It will connect to several futures brokers and to Tastyworks, Tasty Trade, I think they flip-flop their name, which allows you to trade within the program. They have a dome. It comes with a the broadest suite of built-in indicators, scanners, charting tools, and even seasonality of any market product in the market. It has something called marketplace add-ins. I don't own wealth charts. I'm not selling you wealth charts, but I use it because of these reasons. Now, the marketplace add-ins allows third parties like myself to feature products that can help you that are built into the program if with an upcharge. So I have an add-in scanner, which I use constantly in those videos. Other nice thing about wealth charts is features are added regularly, and they also have live education and training daily on the platform. As I showed you, I do those videos where my tools and usage is featured. And I guess the part that to me is most important of showing why this is such a great platform is I have been closely affiliated with a different platform for, gosh, 20 years. It's a great platform. I still use that other platform. But the learning curve was high. The user interface was old. And when I got exposed to wealth charts and was able to put my tools in it, it gave me what I think is the most rounded program on the market. And because of additional features like seasonality, unusual options activity, it allowed me to save money by canceling multiple monthly and annual subscriptions. So the fact that I'm here today talking about other platforms should not be viewed as any negative about wealth charts except for the reality. And the reality is I've had several requests to reproduce my tools in other platforms. I have legacy systems that contain other third-party work that's not available in wealth charts at this time. And if you trade through, for example, Thinkorswim or TradeStation, wealth charts has limited broker connectivity. So to me, that was the reason. And, you know, the thing that is most phenomenal in wealth charts is the scanners. And my scanner in wealth charts is part of my marketplace add-in, which means there's a fee. Um, but just so I'm very clear, wealth charts is a separate purchase. My tools in wealth charts are a separate purchase. They require a subscription to wealth charts, which I highly recommend. And when I talk about my dots and at least a single time frame bongo, which is my trending indicator, they're part of the base subscription. Because of how great and how important the scanner is, I decided to pay a third party to build it for me in TradeStation, and we'll be talking about that scanner today. So this is the official launch of my new packages for TradingView and TradeStation. The TradeStation package includes a large number of indicators, my bongo indicator, which is a multi-time frame trend indicator, which I use to help me scan for and find pullbacks in an uptrend, retracements in a downtrend. My dots, which are a series of impulses. Think of the EKG that I used as a physician, where I would measure electrical impulses and be able to tell what was going on internally in one's heart. Well, I use my dots to give me a picture of what the stock is doing, incorporating things like gaps, volume, breakouts, and momentum in a single indicator that alerts me to often good opportunities for taking trades. I have a number of trading systems that I use, and we'll have the education to go through them. They are included, the EMS, the leading moving average, and a catapult, which is called CPR, I believe, in TradingView. I have a unique way of looking at extension. I call it the high jump. It's a derivation of what I learned from Ian Woodward years ago. A series of market breadth tools incorporating, again, some of what I learned from Ian and others. And then a different way of using relative strength. I call the relative strength cross. The scanner works end of day, can scan up to 2,500 stocks in less than 5 minutes. And I scan it once, and then I have a set of filters to customize the output. I'm going to show you that. In fact, let's take a look at that right now. So this is my typical layout that I have in TradeStation. And yes, there's a lot here, but it actually all fits together for me. I have in this layout a daily and a weekly chart, a daily on the right, a weekly on the left. My dots are these right here. There are probably 8 indicators in this strip. These indicators include my EMS signal, which is a unique crossover system. You buy on blue, you sell on white. It's an in or out binary system and one that is fractal and I've used in other time frames. The yellow dot here represents a gap with specific distance and volume. The next dot down, so you have the blue, the yellow, the green represents large volume. Volume is conviction. A dot that has a specific type of a breakout, which it looks for a statistical move out of chop. And then another custom indicator that I use for momentum. Over here are the yellow dots of the historical squeeze, the Keltner channels and Bollinger Band squeeze. The green dots alert me to I've come out of the squeeze. Why is that important? Because I like not just searching when a stock is in a squeeze, but I want to find when that stock comes out of the squeeze. And then down here are things that I learned from David Elliott, may rest in peace. Boy, did he give back to the community, almost nightly free videos, live webinars and education. But a red dot is a failed new low, a failed new high, and a green dot when you see them is a failed new low, so a single candle reversal. I'll show you how to use them, but you don't even have to look at the charts to see lining up of the colors at the time of a big launch in the stock. Now you'll notice these arrowheads, this is that catapult that I mentioned, which is another impulse signal, but could also be used as a trading system. My high jump measures extension of the stock and compares it to the prior 200 bars. When I'm up at 100%, it tells me I have an extended stock. When I'm at minus 100, it tells me I have a stock that is beaten down to the downside. When I get greater than 95 or less than minus 95, I know that that extension in that direction is the greatest it's been going back the majority of a year. I have found over time that time and time again, when I hit the high jump, I get a pullback or a sideways market. Now, I learned a long time ago from a friend, Chris Wilson, that showed me that when a stock's, if you looked at a ratio of an individual stock to the spider and put a moving average on that indicator, that when the indicator crossed above the moving average, telling you that you're seeing strength in the stock relative strength versus the spider versus the market, that it was a signal that we were going to see a big move. So here we are plotting the relative strength versus the S&P with its moving average. And lastly, I'm looking at not lastly, excuse me, the on-balance volume, which is just a regular OBV, nothing fancy with a moving average. And then down here is what's called the bongo, which is my trending indicator, which combines multiple Wilder RSIs and moving averages and gives me a pattern of when the stock is in an uptrend or a downtrend. And as a pullback trader, and if we just look here at ACEL, here's a stock that's clearly in an uptrend. So the weekly on the bottom, bongo, has been blue or positive for some time. And then if I find when it goes to red is the pullback time, I could actually scan for this pattern here of when the stock comes out of the pullback. Those are my indicators. We've also created a relative strength numerical looking at similar to some of the popular relative strength numbers produced in the literature. And this is just a built-in earnings date to remind me. Now I use moving averages, so I've got a 17, a 15, a 200 day, but that's just my personal preference. Those are great, but the true power of the TradeStation package is the scanner. So let me just hit start here, and we're going to watch how long it takes for 1,334 symbols to scan, and it's 10:38 right now. TradeStation Scanner's a wonderful tool. However, it does not treat a daily bar closed until after the market's closed. It also is slow, and when you do a lot of scans on a lot of stocks, it's not the most stable. Radar screen, which is over here, and these are basic packages within TradeStation. There you go, 1 minute, and I just scanned 1,330 stocks. The radar screen in TradeStation is great because it gives you an update real time of the status of indicators across a long list of stocks. The problem is anything more than 600 or 700, you're going to get stability problems, and it's not spec to do more than 1,000. So what if you want to do more? Since I'm an end of day trader, I designed an end of day tool, and let's just look at this tool. Let me blow it up here for you. In this tool, I have symbol and description and price. And then each of those indicators that I just mentioned are listed up here. So I've scanned my universe here of about 2,300 stocks, I believe. And now I want to design filters. So if I wanted to find a pullback and an uptrend in this tool, I would now go to the filter results. I like $5 or more. Um, I don't care in this scan if you're in a squeeze. I want only bullish dots. So I only want to see charts that have at least one bullish dot. I want my daily bongo to be bullish, but I wanted it to switch from red to blue within 9 bars. I want my weekly bongo to be bullish, and I'm going to leave the rest off. I'm going to hit OK, and that's what this scan came from. I just want to prove that to you because if I hit a reset, and hit OK, you can start to see that the scan changed and all these red things came in. So let me just go back to the scan, and let's do my quick filtering. Greater than or equal to $5. Bullish dots greater than or equal to 1. Bearish dots off. Daily bongo bullish within less than or equal to 9 bars. Just type in the 9 here. Then I'm going to come here to weekly bongo bullish, leave the rest, hit OK. Notice the red's going to go away, and this is the results of that scan, ranked by 5. And then I could just go and I could look at the chart and ask the question, do these meet my criteria? OLED. Is it in an uptrend? It's kind of a soft uptrend, but technically here's a trend line and it's going up on the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, it's in an uptrend. I'd say it's in a minimal uptrend. Big gap up here. Here's your catapult, a new EMS signal, gap, volume, breakout, momentum. Not above 95, so it's still tradable. And look at the relative strength on both the daily and the weekly charts, just going right through their moving average. OBV is strong, and that's an interesting stock. I'd have to know more about it. Natera, this one doesn't look to me, again, was it in an uptrend? Well, the weekly bongo just turned blue this week, so it just counted as an uptrend. And I guess if we're looking, this is the highest close in 3 or 4 bars, so it's a soft uptrend. And we could go through the list. This one's in a clear uptrend, and again, they're all pulling back into the average and having my impulse signals. DaVita is another one, clear uptrend, pullback, breaking out. So are these all going to be good trades? No, they're not going to all be good trades. It's a scanner. But the intent of the scanner is to go through and pull out stocks that might be meeting certain criteria, pull back in an uptrend, multiple dots, relative strength, etc. So I use this tool constantly. It allows me to filter out the noise and pick the stocks that are meeting my criteria, and I can scan on any of these features. And I love this tool, and it's something I'm very proud to bring to the market. Like anything I sell, it will be supported immediately by an educational 2 or 3 hour session and then quarterly updates. Plus, I've already recorded some of the basic education. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, I also have a TradingView package. TradingView is an excellent program. I like it for so many reasons. It doesn't have a powerful scanner. It has minimal ability for scanning, but not for using user-specific indicators. So my TradingView package includes all the signals that you just saw in TradeStation and more, including fundamental data. It doesn't have the scanner. In fact, you can add it up right there. There are, depending on how we slice it, 7 to 10 unique indicators. Now, in TradingView, you're going to have to buy a data package. If you look at the packages that they have, their monthly package, you're going to need either the Pro Plus or the Premium to use my tools because of the limitation of the number of indicators allowed. The nice thing about TradingView is if, like me, you're a non-professional trader, the cost for real-time data futures is pennies compared to what I used to pay at brokers and other sources. The indicators are linked to your TradingView username, which means you can look at the indicators on your phone, your iPad, your computer. There's a trading app, or you could look at on a website, and it's always going to be. Sorry about that. I had a glitch with my mic. It's always linked to your username, and the nice thing about TradingView is when we do an update, it gets pushed to you as usually an email from TradingView, and then you just have to change the indicator out and put it back in, and you get the new version. There's no indicators to install in TradingView, which is another beautiful thing. You would just click on them to add them to your charts once you get them authorized. So one thing, let me just show you the chart just to show you what we're talking about. So in TradingView, the same different patterns. You get 3 time frames of bongo. Here's my high jump. This is what we call the JAS funds. It basically looks at quarter by quarter earnings, percent change compared to the same quarter a year ago. Is there a surprise? Revenue change, surprise. Some quick fundamentals. It includes the CPR, which is shown here as a triangle. Here are the EMS and the leading moving average system. Here are my dots. The yellow line is the squeeze, the green dots is coming out. In this platform, I could put the daily and the weekly relative strength versus the spider on the same chart. I did not include an OBV in this system, and the reason I didn't is I found something on the web that's free. It's called the 13E OBV, and this one gives you an OBV, a customizable moving average. I personally like to use an EMA, and I like it to be a 10-day moving average. But not only do they do that, they also include divergence, which is pretty cool. And that was a free indicator, not part of my package, and you could just go get it right now, the 13E OBV. The market breadth, which I'd have to go to in greater detail, shows you indicators that look at risk to the market, exuberance in the NASDAQ or the NYSE, and these little red hashes here are a signal of a market that is likely potentially topping. I'll leave it at that. So the TradingView package is out. It's in the market today, and it's a really full-fledged package that you can add other indicators like trend lines and perhaps a relative strength indicator as well, which are like the OBV, just as an example. This is called RS rating, S&P versus the spider. And this one, just to show you, there's a lot to like about TradingView. And part of it is the things that are available at no cost. And this is from a guy named Fred6724, and he designed it to mimic what you see in MarketSmith or investors.com. So this is the TradingView package. It includes everything that I showed you in TradeStation, but does not have a scanner. So I sell each of these separate. There's no relationship between the programmer relationship and any other program. Now, this is part-time for me. I still work for a living. I partner with 3 different entities to develop the tools. Each tool is freestanding and does not require use of any other tool. There is no financial relationship between the 3 entities. I can offer discounts for those that purchase the tools on multiple platforms. If you own my marketplace package on WealthCharts, I will discount anything that you buy from me at any time. Okay, so that's not a launch only. If you purchase multiple packages, there'll be an additional discount. The one thing I can't discount is WealthCharts because that's controlled through a different third party. And look, I started by saying how great it is. If you have to buy one, buy WealthCharts and buy my package on WealthCharts. But for those that are looking for alternatives, the TradeStation app and indicators is $14.95 regular price. My launch special is $9.95. And if you can prove that you have the WealthCharts CAT scanner, which is my product, just take a snapshot when you email me and send it, I'll discount it to $7.95. The TradingView package, the expensive part, frankly, is the trading app. And the TradingView package is only $4.99 regular for all those indicators. I'm offering it at least until September 1st for $3.99. And if you can show that you have owned my WealthCharts marketplace tools, I'll give you an additional $50 off. One-time purchase includes all updates to current packages. Will ship with installation instructions and videos explaining how I use the tools and packages. And when applicable, I will include custom workspaces. Contact me at hgsidoc@gmail.com. I am a prolific YouTuber for 20 plus 30 years. I do quarterly intensives to support my WealthCharts marketplace. I will add an additional 4 quarterly sessions to support TradeStation and TradingView app and TradingView folks as well. And you'll also get discounts if you attend my live seminars. I hope you find this interesting. What can you expect? Once you pay, you'll be authorized within 24 hours. Quarterly meetings, as I mentioned, intermittent weekend reviews by platform. I will expand to doing multiple weekend reviews so that I don't disappoint the WealthCharts crowd who have gotten used to my reviews, but I want to show how I use other tools with my indicators. So I'll vary them by a second one by platform. You'll get all updates and improvements and email support at hgsidoc@gmail.com. Love to hear from you, questions, comments of interest, and there's my email address. And on that note, I'm going to thank you for being here and say good night.